Welcome back to Educator.com, and I'm glad to see you here. This is AP World History, and today, in this session, we're going to discuss the expansion and intensification of communications and exchange networks. And this is an ongoing from the last session, and so this will be part 2. Now remember, what we're discussing is 600 to 1450, and that there is an expansion and intensification of regional and interregional or transregional communication and exchanges. And so how is this growth facilitated? Well, one of the ways is with state practices. That means the governments of these empires do things to facilitate commercial growth. The idea, remember, is we're centering in on growth. So one of the ways they do this is that the state can mint coins. And you see here some Chinese coins, and you notice that they have a hole in the middle of them. And so the merchants and others would put a cord and string these up to keep them together. And sometimes it has got to be very onerous to have so much heavy coins. So they came up with a new idea, and that was paper money, called Jiaozi. Okay, so here's a picture of early Chinese paper money. What an invention, paper money. How can you make something that's not terribly valuable represent something that's valuable and have people accept it? Well, you have to have the state back it up. And so we have the invention of paper money. We also have the state, the governments, doing large projects. And one of the really excellent examples of this is called the Grand Canal in China. And you can see it starts way down here in Hangzhou and goes all the way north to Beijing. Now, and that is an amazing amount of territory to cover to create a canal that works all the way from there to there. Think of the engineering skill and the amount of funds and money that the government had to put in to create something like this. But when they did, they connected especially the two main rivers, the Yangtze and the Yellow River, together so that commerce could be between them and take all of the stuff that they need even up into the north. Now the south down here is the growing region, and there's a lot of people up here that want to eat. So this facilitated the movement of foods to the north and all kinds of goods back and forth. So without this Grand Canal, China could never have accomplished the kind of exchanges that they did. Another way in which this happens is not by the governments themselves, but people's agreeing to do things in different areas. And we call these trade organizations. And one of the most famous is the Hanseatic League, which, as you can see, went from Novgorod in Russia all the way to London and Bruges. And all of these cities along the way, they all participated, they agreed to abide by rules that were set for everybody. And so it's not a state organization, it's a trade organization among different peoples. And that facilitates trade.